Hello and welcome to this week's track guide for Daily Race B in association with Kireth Esports. We are here at Dragon Trail again and we're in the Gr4 cars this week for 5 laps. It does look like, unfortunately, once again the WRX is going to be the best car for setting qualifying in, but you'll be pleased to see that there are a couple of other cars that you can use. So the GTR is quite quick. You can also use the Supra Gr4, and I believe that there's even a Dodge that's just entered into the top 10 times. So Dodge Viper's also looking viable, so a few cars out there for you to choose from. We are going to go through the guide of the WRX though, as that is definitely the fastest times at the moment, and there's a great new feature I'm just going to show you here where you're able to actually see where you stand in the top 10 at the moment. So what you can now do when you go into sport mode, whether you're in the qualifying lobby and you go to the rankings or you go into the pre-game lobby here, you can actually go to the global rankings and it will show you what your global ranking is. So we've got the number 17 time at the moment, which I was quite pleased with, 146.077, and I think that's a really cool feature to be able to track your progress. So that's there if you guys and girls want to check that out. Now, getting back to the track guide though, let's go through and break it down in the WRX. I am going to break down the Death Chicane in a little bit more detail as well, so I hope that really helps out, because it's a really important section obviously to get right, and I feel like once you nail it you can be through confidently every single time. So I'm going to go through that. Please do drop a like and comment if you enjoy the video, consider subscribing for future videos, but for now let's get into the track guide and break it down. So the first thing I think that you want to be conscious of when you're starting a lap is that you really want to get a good launch out of this last corner. So I keep it in third gear, make sure you hook up the curb and get on the power nice and early, because you've got a really long straight, so if you get a poor exit out of that corner it is going to affect you a reasonable amount, so make sure that you get a good run out of there. We're also going to be shifting up as always in the WRX when we get to the end of the gear, but there are a couple of points where it's not really worth changing, so we stay in 5th for T1 for example. Here we come to our first braking marker though, so start of the black and white curb here on the right hand side just before the 100 board, down on the brakes, down to third gear, and we are getting off the brake as quickly as we can in this car to help it with rotation, and I just use the inside of this curb on the right to help rotate and keep the car in third, which I think is faster than shifting down to second through there. Now this next right hander you want to be very careful and make sure that you cut all the curb if you're going to cut it, so your right tyres need to clear the inside edge of the left part of that curb, or you're better off just not cutting it at all. And we're braking on the grass here on the left hand side, so where the grass changes to sand, down on the brakes into third gear. Again, really important to get off the brake as quickly as you can to help the car rotate, and then you see I'm accelerating whilst I'm still coming over the curbing at the apex of that right hander. Next thing I'm looking out for is the orange barrier change on the right hand side, so just where we come past that bit of orange barrier, dab on the brake, down into fourth gear, and you want to aim to get your left tyres onto this curb on the left hand side. Once your tyres hit that curb, get on the power, and then we're going to use just the inside of these curbs here to help rotate. So you see I just dipped my right tyre on the inside of that curb there, up into 5th in between these two corners, and then again just dipping the inside of my tyre onto that curb. It really helps with rotating the car. You can get through there smoothly without using that occasionally, but it's not as consistent, so if you're struggling with rotation through there, definitely use the curbing. And next we're looking out for the 100 metre board again, but before the 100 metre board, so you don't want to brake when you're right on it, you need to be about sort of 20 metres beforehand, down into second, and you want to clip that curb on the right. If you clip that apex on the curb in there, you can get on the power nice and early, and you know you've really hooked the corner up. And now we're going to break this section down here twice, so we're going to come through, take as much of this curb as you like, into 5th gear, and aim to get right out onto this curb on the right hand side. And you see I'm already turning in, so you're turning in quite early, big lift, and then cut the curbing, switch the angle of your steering over, and you'll be through nice and cleanly. So what you're really aiming for here is, so we're already turning left, still turning left consistently, just feathering it round, lifting to get your car onto this curb on the left hand side, and then your right two tyres cut the inside of the next curb. And it's if you cut the inside of the curb with your right two tyres, that's what's going to mean that you don't bounce the car up. So you're aiming to get that right side of your car just sliding through there. And then 100 metre board again, braking just before it, so a little bit closer this time, but still before the 100 metres. And I once again do like to keep it in third gear around here. You can use a little bit of second just to rotate the car, but I definitely recommend third gear for the corner if you can get round, as it's going to help you carry more speed. And then that is pretty much it. So that was good enough for a 146.077, as we said, which is a lap I was reasonably pleased with. I'd hope to get down to a 145 at some point in the week, but it's a great starting point. Hopefully that gives you some good pointers. Please do remember to just watch that little bit of the Death Chicane again and look how I'm positioning my car. So it's all about cutting that second half of the curving with your right tyres so that the car doesn't bounce up. But That's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and do subscribe if you've enjoyed the content, and we'll see you for some more races in the week. See you soon.